Hey, it's been a minute. So, Aubrey Graham, aka Drake, dropped a new project today called Certified Lover Boy. This might be the worst album cover I've ever seen. And I thought the Donda album cover was stupid. No, this takes the cake. Why does it look like that? Emoji art is really bad. It's already dated. Regardless, he dropped it today. I have a confession to make. I've never heard a Drake album before. I know. So with the Kanye West thing, I had never heard a Kanye album because I was more interested in him as a product than an artist. But with Drake, I just didn't think he was worth listening to beyond his hits. The guy's a hitmaker, there's no question about it. He's been in the top 100 for what, like 10 years now, maybe even more. But then again, he didn't give me any emotional depth or reason to listen beyond that point. PSA, I'm not going to be a music critic from now on. That's not happening. I just think the casual listener's point of view is way more important than the diehard fans. The diehard fans would forgive a lot of the problems that would be on these records, and I think there are a lot of problems on this record. I think the two questions we're going to answer today in this video are, one, is it better than Donda? Kanye and Drake had this beef going into the album's releases, so, it's cool to compare the two. And then the second question I want to answer is Drake worth listening to beyond those hits? Let's find out.
Still managed to moonwalk straight through a minefield.
So this glitchy chipmunk vocal sample is quite hypnotic. As well, the beat switch up in the second half around the 2-minute mark. That's really good as well. It has these kind of dusty Mad Lib sort of drums and really comes to its own towards the end when these swelling synth pads come in. It's a cool effect. You're gonna notice very quickly that Drake really wants to make you feel bad about him despite all of his riches and success over the years. I'm not gonna lie, he's quite mopey on some of these bars, and that continues throughout the whole record. But if I'm being honest, I like this one a lot. I'm pleasantly surprised. Drake, you've done a good job. This is a good tone setter for the album.
Niggas know they need to stop. I'm standing at the top, that's how I know you never seen the top.
This song is definitely in my top 3. Similar skipping vocal patterns here, similar fat compressed drums. I'm noticing a trend. Also, I wasn't expecting the beat to come in the way it did. It hit way harder than I thought it would. Nicki Minaj's contribution is okay, I guess. She doesn't rap here, it's more of a speaking little interlude halfway through the song. It feeds into a major theme on the record, which is taking care of a child as a single parent. There's a lot of lines in there about child support and all that. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good. The song's opening just sounds like Rockstar by DaBaby. Instead of DaBaby, we got Lil Baby on this one. He's easily the best part of the track. Lil Baby's just been killing it recently, and I hear him in everything. He's like the perfect feature artist. Drake sings a few times on this track, and I think he does a good job of it. There are a couple of strange lyrical choices here. Yeah, talking all the shit that you done been through. Yeah, say that you a lesbian. Girl, me too. Also, the hi-hats on this song are so prominent in the mix, and it kind of gave me a headache towards the end of it. Yeah, I don't really like this one.
Don't know who you talking about, I'll put that on the Bible.
This song feels kind of preachy to me. The whole, you don't love me like my son does. Maybe I do, Drake. Maybe I do. Also, Drake's whininess kind of extends into the melody, too. On a positive note, Lil Durk instantly makes it fire again with his verse. It's good. This GIVÄON guy, his singing is incredible. I think the verse was a little bit, the cadence was a little bit weird, I guess you could say. But he sounds good, so that's cool.
All on me, lot of 42 on the flights I'm taking.
The transition between the last song and this one is quite good. Drake's part is good, but it's nowhere near Jay-Z's. Man, his presence on any instrumental is just commanding. This guy knows what he's doing. I think this one's in my top 5 too. It's very low-key, but I like it a lot. I think this one will grow on me more than the others.
Hey, feeling young, but they treat me like the OG.
The beat is very spacious, lots of choir pads. It's cool. I like the instrumental. I'm not crazy about the chorus. I think the verses, though, are excellent. Travis Scott kills it here, too. I like how his vocals in the back kind of pan from left to right. Drake did a good job. Travis did a good job. It's probably in my top 5 as well.
Too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
Why? This one is stupid. It's probably my least favorite track on the entire album. I don't like any of the performances here. The beat and lyrics are just like, it's bad. It's not good.
I watch her climb on the top of the pole and then get to sliding down.
The intro is quite long and drawn out. It's like over a minute long. I like the flow and melody as well. The slow beat switch in the second half is really good. It's a good song, kind of forgettable if I'm being honest. I think it's pretty middle of the road for me.
Mercedes for my baby, 2022 updated.
Another example where the transition from the previous song to this one is pretty good. This is our only real taste of distortion on the record. In the first half of this song, there's this electric guitar that's kind of crunchy. I think that part kind of sucks, but then the second half of the song really picks up. Production-wise, Drake's vocals in the second half are very similar to like a Travis Scott song. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It sounds good, but I can definitely hear that influence. I don't like this one that much. It's okay, I guess.
It's like home to me.
This is one of those Drake songs where he just kind of goes on a beat for a while. It's not really a hit, he just does his thing. Love the bass, the beat's pretty good. Those backing vocals, I'd say, are pretty good too. At a certain point, I just kind of get bored with this one though. I don't know what it is, maybe it's just Drake himself. Unfortunately, that's an issue that kind of plagues this record. You'll see that a lot more in the second half, but yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
And say I do, I do.
It's funny, my favorite song on this album thus far is this one that doesn't even have Drake on it. This song is clearly Drake's version of Moon from the Kanye record, and it's also great. I love the stripped back piano, and the vocals are nice. The reverb is really well done. Like Moon, it's just this little perfect moment on the record that nicely breaks everything up.
Back.
This is another top 5 song. What I just showed you is the high end kind of being taken back from the instrumental, and then it hits so much harder because of that. I love that. Instrumentally, this is one of my favorites on the record for sure. This tremolo synth that comes in towards the end too is really good. Kind of like with Pipe Down, I think this is the point in the record where I'm getting bored. I actually think it's just Drake himself. The instrumental is captivating. What he's saying though is not. Then again, I don't listen to a lot of rap, so we'll keep going and see where he takes it. Kind of like how those glitchy vocals kept coming back. The piano here from Yebba's Heartbreak is the same, so I'm noticing another musical motif. I wasn't expecting this lo-fi trap sound from Drake and these artists, but I don't hate it. I think it's just a little too slow. I think if they bumped up the BPM by, I don't know, 10, 15, I think this would have been a banger. Then again, I don't really care for the lyrical content still, so I don't know.
We playing it peacefully for the streets to see my nigga have some decency.
The Bridle Path, for those of you who don't know, is a street in Toronto that basically just has the nicest houses in the city. Drake lives there. It's crazy nice. There's no chorus here. Again, it's just Drake doing his thing for a couple minutes on an instrumental. For the most part, Drake's wordplay is pretty on point. The Kumbaya thing was a little weird though. As far as album cuts go, this one is fine, but I'm never gonna listen to it outside of the record because it's just really long and it's kind of hard to sit through, in all honesty. The production here is interesting. More dusty drums here. Drake's vocal sits very far back in the mix, and it doesn't sound too bad. I actually don't know how I feel about it. The last chorus is this very compressed, reversed, synthy, not mess, but it's just like, there's a lot of sounds happening. I enjoy it quite a bit. There's these little Splatoon-esque, like, beeps and boops that come in every now and then. I like that part, but that's about it. This one's kind of mediocre.
Try to suppress my emotions.
So this is Drake's version of One Dance. Again, it's not really a hit though to me. It's just kind of like boring one dance. That's it. The piano here gives me kind of a Wii Sports vibe. I don't know if that's weird to say. This one's fine too. It's just fine. And that's the problem. It's not great. It's fine. I'm getting to the point now where the album is just kind of a chore to sit through because there's nothing to cling on to here. It's just kind of like the same idea over and over again with nothing really interesting going on.
This might be too real.
This might be Drake's best singing on the record. There's a point where he hits these sliding high notes, and they sound quite beautiful, actually. Was Dolla sign even on the song? It says it felt like he just didn't show up at all. This one's okay, but then again, it's just getting to be such a slog to get through. My goodness.
Money calling, so I threw the deuce up.
This is one of the better songs in the second half of the record. The high singing vocals, the somewhat stuttery production, it's very similar to what we heard in the beginning. The line where Drake wants to be referred to as Michael Jackson, that's a little bit strange. I don't like Lil Wayne's verse here. I do like Lil Wayne though, so I'm not going to be that hard on him. Rick Ross stole the show for me. I think his presence, like Jay-Z, was just very commanding on this beat. They chose the right beat for him. There are things I like here, there are things I don't like here, but then again, in terms of the full song, it's a lot better than what we've heard in the second half, so yeah, it's pretty good.
When I close my eyes, my world comes alive.
The Juice WRLD sample at the beginning was very tasteful, far better than what Kanye did with the Pop Smoke tribute. It's a decent instrumental. I like when the beat cuts out and those swelling synths come in. That's the best part to me. That's like the only good part. I don't care anymore. I just want to get through the record.
You sit in a house and I be out.
Good vocal performance from Party Next Door. This song is slow, if you're into that. I'm so out of it at this. It's just like, it's so mediocre.
Yeah.
The piano stuff's back, the chipmunk stuff's back. Honestly, it's the most cohesive idea on the record. I don't mind it. I really don't. The song is 5 minutes long, though. It's such a slog of an album, and then you hit us with the longest song at the end. Like, oh my goodness. I've heard it all before. It's so repetitive. I just skimmed through this one. I was over it. Okay, final thoughts. This album has good points. It started out good, and then it just became so stale so fast. Drake just seems to be stuck in this creative box and won't really push outside of it that much. Certain songs like Way Too Sexy and even the entire second half of the record, I'd say, should have probably gone back to the drawing board at some point. Production-wise, I wouldn't say it was the best. There were songs that were a lot quieter than some of the others, so I had to constantly turn my volume up and down, which was a little bit of an inconvenience. One positive for the record is that I think Drake got his money's worth out of these features. They all did a pretty decent job given the subject matter and the instrumentals. I wrote them out here, my top 5 songs on the record: Papi's Home, Love All, Fair Trade, Yebba's Heartbreak, and No Friends in the Industry. I think they're all good for different reasons. If I had to give it a number rating, it's not better than Donda. Donda's so much better. I think this, because it's so boring and just lifeless at times, I'll give it like a 4. Yeah, 4 out of 10, sure. I can't put it any lower though, because there are good things here and it sounds good and there's like good ideas in certain parts of it, but man, it's just kind of dead. It's a little bit dead. Maybe I shouldn't be a music critic. I think I'm only going to do album reviews for artists I've never heard before. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think down below. Also, any questions, comments, concerns, ideas for future videos, I'd love to hear them too. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See ya.